everyone, hope you're all okay. Now don't die of shock, but I'm actually getting round to doing the questions and answers video. It only took me about 2 months to do it. So I've got all the questions printed out, and I thought I would just flip through these papers while I'm answering the questions. I had thought about doing a face cam, but if you could see me at the minute, I think I've aged 20 years in this past couple of weeks. Right, so first question is from Paper Lover 123, who's Julie, and she said she wondered if I could take you on walks when I go for walks again, because she used to like my walking videos. So yes, when we get back to normal, I'll start taking the camera out more and showing you different places. She says she's interested in showing architecture and favourite craft stores, etc. So yes, I'll do that for you, Julie, when normality returns to the world. When, and not if, when. Right, Pokey Cat Pam. Now this made me laugh. She said, I have a question for you, Dee. Have you got a really old and ugly portrait in your attic? Because that is not the face of a 60-year-old woman. What is your secret beauty routine? Oh my God, Pam, well, thank you very much. But if you could see me now, like I say, I think I've aged 20 years in the past couple of weeks. I don't know. I think just... well, I don't know. Some days I look in the mirror and think, well, you're not too bad for 60. And then the next day it'll be, oh my God, are you sure you're only 60? But no, thank you for that. That did make me chuckle. And no, I don't have a secret beauty routine. I just use any cheapo products on my skin. So next question is from the lovely Mama Judy at Vintage Art Treasures, and she just said, my question is, why are you in England? Judy's across the pond. She's put, you are my adopted daughter and I would love for you to live next door. Oh, bless you, that is really lovely. I'd love to live next door to you as well. And then she says she would like to hear if I'm still walking early in the mornings. I haven't been walking other than on my treadmill, and other than when I go out, or when I used to go out at the weekends with Mr. Doodle. Haven't been out for, I would think, over a year. I've no idea why I stopped. I need to start again. I could do with doing it now. But no, I've been very naughty, Mama Judy, I'm sorry to say. Right, next question from Juliet Green Macaroni is blah, 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 blah. She loves history. Julie loves history. And have I ever dug up in the yard and found medieval pottery or Roman coins? I'm sorry to be a bit boring and disappoint you, Julie, but no. I haven't. What else? And have we any old ruins near us? Well, no, not near us. There is a cathedral. What's it called? Can't think what it's called. No, it's an abbey. I think it's an abbey that we've been to a couple of times. Next time we go, I'll do a video. Can't think what it's called at the moment, but it's not near us. It's, I don't know, 20 or 30 miles away, something like that. Right, let's have a look. The Happy Diane, she says, oh, she wants to know, have I kept my supplies contained in one room? No, I have supplies in this room. I have supplies in my bedroom. I have supplies in the living room. I have supplies in the hallway, and there's also some in the kitchen as well. So the bathrooms are pretty safe at the minute. Mr. Doodle's room's pretty safe, although he has been crafting something top secret that he's not telling me about yet. It's actually our 35th wedding anniversary on the 1st of April. So today is Monday, so Wednesday I think it is. So I really don't know. I thought he was doing a little project for work or something, but whether he's making me a card or something, don't know. It might not be for me. We don't normally send each other cards, so I won't build my hopes upon that one. But yeah, so Mr. Doodle's got his own little supplies, although he does come in here and get stuff. Right, Crafty Michelle. How did I begin? When and how did I begin doing mixed media? I've not got my proper glasses on. I'm so silly. Well, I've had a YouTube channel since I think it was 2011, and I didn't start doing videos I think until a couple of years later, but it's just through watching videos really. I used to watch what's her name, Rach0113. I used to watch a lot of her videos. She does a lot of mixed media. Do I have a craft budget, or do I mainly try and use stash and recycle? No, I don't have a craft budget. Last year and this year, kind of, I have cut down a lot on what I buy. I do still tend to buy painty things, because they just seem to be my love at the moment. Excuse me, but I've not bought any paper pads for long enough, because I haven't got a lot compared to, I know what some ladies have. I'm just looking behind me, but I have got quite a collection of paper pads, both big ones and small ones, and I've not used any for a long time really, and I need to start using them, because I mean, what's the point? And I wouldn't de-stash, because I think, what's the point? I've paid all that money for that paper and then selling it off cheap. No, I need to use it. So no, I'm not really, I have tried to cut down on what I spend. I mean, obviously you still need glues and essentials, don't you? But top 3 to 5 channels for mixed media tutorials. I don't like doing top things because everybody's good, but like I've said, the first person that I really stumbled across, as far as I can remember, I mean, I can't remember what I did yesterday, never mind all those years ago, was Rach0113, and I know a lot of you ladies know her. I don't think she does videos now. Favourite craft supplies? Everything. I just love everything. I like my punch board of the, tools that I've bought. I did buy I don't even know what it's called. Is it Ultimate Scoreboard or something? Ultimate thing. It's behind me, but I can't get it. Oh, is it Ultimate Crafter's Companion or something? Oh, I can't remember. It's a purple thing anyway, like a case thing that you open out. Never used it. I could never find any. I bought that, or Mr. Doodle bought me it, when I sort of first got into making cards and that sort of thing, and I could never find any tutorials, and don't know, I've just never sort of used it. But craft supplies, I just love paints and papers and everything. I just love it all. Right, Elisa Barrett, what she put? Oh, I wish I'd got my other glasses. She'd love to know about my life, how I got into crafting, and what's your favourite crafting projects. Well, before YouTube, I was never crafty as a child other than colouring books and cutting out the paper doll on the back of the Twinkle comic. But I was never crafty, you know, or interested in that. My parents weren't, so, you know, I wasn't. But sort of, I don't know, 20 years, probably more than 20 years ago. What's that noise? More than 20 years ago, when I was at work, I used to come home at lunchtime and watch a programme in the afternoon, which I can't remember what it was called, but they sometimes did arty things. And I'm really not organised. There was some glass painting, and I have shown this before, and I meant to bring it up to show you. And it was of a vase with flowers on this vase. I thought, oh, that looks good. So I went and bought some glass paints and did that. And I think that was how I sort of got started in wanting to craft. And this was just, you know, on the kitchen table like a lot of us start off. And I can show you this one. Just hang on a minute. I think I can. Oh, I'll show you two. And I've shown this before as well. And then I went on to doing these with biscuit jars. Did that one with my cat. And I can just show you this one. I forgot this one was here. Something gonna fall off. And these are the sort of flowers that, but the first thing I did, I think, was the vase, flower vase. And it was just with all sorts of different glass paints. And I've still got some of those original glass paints, although they've gone all thick and gloopy now. So that's that one. Favourite crafting projects. Well, the favourite thing that I've ever done, I think somebody else has asked me this further up as well. Favourite thing I've ever made, which I can't show you because I've given it away, was a folded book. It was a spool, and it was, I don't know, quite big. It was about 12 inches high, I would think. It was beautiful. I absolutely loved it, and I've mentioned this before as well, that I really would like to make one for myself because I loved it. And I put wide lace around where you would wrap the cotton round, and then some of my homemade purple flowers all around it, cascading around it and on the top. And then I put a little tea light, little battery operated tea light on the top that was sort of hidden in these flowers, and gave it to someone for their birthday. I'm not flipping these papers very much, am I? So that would be my favourite project that I've crafted myself. Right, Miss Rose Thiessen, is it? Thiessen? How long have you and Mr. Doodle been married? Well, as I said, it will be our 35th wedding anniversary this year on the 1st of April. April Fool's Day, quite fitting for us, isn't it? Yes. And we have one daughter and two grandchildren. Grandchildren are 18, Leonie is 18 and Lewis is 23. Have you been crafting most of your life? Well, I've just answered that in the previous one. And how did I get into it? So no, not most of my life. Right, Phaedra Jones has asked, what would be my perfect day? Well, my perfect day is every day when Mr. Doodle gets home from work at night. And I'm not just saying that because of the current world situation, that's anyway. And I just love my days, you know. I don't have to go to work, and I can just stop at home and play, and yeah. What else did she put? And if I could have tea with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And do I have a bucket list? No, I don't have a bucket list. And I can't think of anybody. Well, I couldn't think of anybody, and I was sat thinking about it this morning, and I thought, well, I would quite like to meet our Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson, when all this is over. Meet him for a nice cup of tea. I might treat him to a McDonald's cuppa. And thank him for all that he's done for us. And if he wouldn't agree to meet, then I'd have to ring Johnny Depp up and see if he'd agree to meet me, but I don't think tea would be on my mind. Right, moving on. Let's have a look. Right, Kazikins 1K. She says, Noodle, is there... Oh, you try your hand at most things. Is there something paper, paint, colour related that you would not even have a try at? Well, I do like to try most things. But one thing that I think is very clever, and I admire people that do it, but it's not something that I've ever wanted to do, is quilling. You know, where you get the pieces of paper and curl them all round. No, I think because it's a bit precise, it's not, but I really think it's you know, it's clever and people do some beautiful things. So that really, I can't think of anything else. Probably is, but right. Evelyn Rossio says, you are always thinking and always creating. What do you do other than crafting when you need to stop thinking about the next craft project? Think about the next craft project. No, I don't know. I'm just, you know, now I just always seem to have my head in crafting. Although this past couple of days, I just can't settle. I can't seem to do anything. And I know lots of you sort of last week and the previous week said the same thing, and I'm like, now, especially Saturday, oh dear, I was having a right bad day on Saturday. Just, I was like rocking. I couldn't focus or couldn't do anything. Just normally, in the summertime, I like to be out in the garden. Just do things at home really, but my head always seems to be in to crafting. Right, that's that one. Laurie Padilla, she says, how about your favourite craft? Oh, how about what is your favourite craft project that was the hardest to learn? I don't know. I really can't think of anything for that. I don't know, Laurie. I can't. Hardest for me to learn. I don't know, because anything I do, I sort of, if I can't do it, then I'll just keep going until I can do it my way. I'm sorry about that, but I just can't think of anything at the minute. If I think of something later on, I'll let you know in another video. But I don't know for that one. Woolly Steph. Right, this made me laugh. She says, how many minutes? Oh God, 18 minutes. Going to be a long video, sorry. Yeah, or probably 2 parts. I might do 2 parts. Woolly Steph says, when you are alone and crafting, and when the conversation with yourself dries up, in brackets, laugh out loud, I actually think it never does. Well, you're right there. Do I watch TV or listen to the radio or your own music? And if you do, what shows or styles of music do you enjoy? I always used to absolutely love music, but as I've grown deafer and deafer, I tend not to have it on. I mean, I would always have the radio on, or, you know, play music loud, but to have it on now, I would, unless I had my hearing aid in all day, which I refuse to do, it would need to be that loud the whole village would hear. But I do sometimes have, I used to have a lot of my music on my phone, and then when we changed my phone I lost all the music on there. But music that I like, I love the 70s stuff. Obviously I was a teenager and music's a big thing to teenagers in the 70s, so I love the 70s stuff. I've got a little list down here. I like Queen, I like Adele, James Arthur, Erasure, Elbow. Oh, what's that song of Elbow's? One song I can't remember, but there's one particular song that I absolutely adore. Anastasia, and I really, really love, and I'm going to leave the link to this, but I really love the song called While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and it's a George Harrison song, but my favourite version is with his son Danny Harrison and Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, and there's some more people in it. I love Jeff Lynne, absolutely love him, and Prince is just fantastic, playing his guitar at the end, and oh, he's brilliant. I'll leave the link to that video because I do watch that. That must be the most, for me, the video that I have watched the most of on YouTube, and I don't tend to watch a lot of music videos or anything, but I just love it. So yes, so that's that. TV shows, I like things like Poirot and that sort of thing, anything Agatha Christie, but you know, mostly I don't watch TV in the daytime. Unless Mr. Doodle's at home, and then we tend to browse through. But I was going to say something then. Well, I watch the soaps at night. We'll watch Coronation Street and Emmerdale, and that's on at night time. Right, Lynn Evans too. What jobs have I done in the past? She'd love to know whether they were arty or not, and how I got into art. What jobs? Right, well, I always did cleaning jobs. My mother was a cleaner, and I tended to follow in her footsteps. My mum used to clean at the hospital. So I've always done cleaning jobs here in the village, and I used to go into town as well. And at one point I used to take in ironing, do ironing for people. I used to go to one lady's house and do the ironing there as well. For a couple of years back in the days, like maybe 30 years ago, when we used to have the village post lady, when she had time off, I used to stand in for her. So I've been a relief postie as well, but that was only a couple of times a year for probably 2 or 3 years, not probably only 2 years. Right, so that's that one. How did I get into doing art? I don't know, it just through being on YouTube and seeing different things, and I suppose it's just a, you know, extension of doing that, and I've still got the original. I mean, I started off with just 3 or 4 basic paints, and this was, I bet these have gone all weird now, but this must have been, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, and I've still got some of the original tubs of paint. But yeah, it's just all a knock-on effect of watching YouTube videos and such like. Right, Julie Olivia's Crafts and More. What got me into doing YouTube videos? Well, it's just, you do things, don't you, and you see other people do them, and then you think, oh well, I'll show some of mine, sort of thing. What has been your favourite craft to do? Well, I've already mentioned that, the origami book folded spool, and something non-crafty that I've always wanted to do. What would it be? Well, I've got down 2 things here. One thing that I would like to have done, I have no like real, oh yes I really want to do that or anything, but I think the Northern Lights would be nice to see. I mean, we've never been on holiday abroad other than when we won a little mini cruise to Sweden. But that was literally 24 hours on the boat, 3 or 4 hours in Sweden, 24 hours on the boat coming back. So, you know, the Northern Lights, or I did used to think, oh, it would be great to walk up the Great Wall of China, something like that. Anne Alba. Right, now your question, Anne. This baffled me a little bit. I'm like, did I really say that? She says, I remember you mentioned a while ago you had a garden centre. What did you grow and sell? Also, a look at the garden and greenhouse would be nice. Well, no, that really wouldn't be nice, especially not today because it's piddling down. Right, well I obviously didn't explain what I meant very well, because no, I haven't had a garden centre. I did mention that we've got the greenhouses, and years ago, before I used to, when I was at work, before I used to go to work cleaning, I used to get up early and go in the greenhouses and probably do 3 hours work in the greenhouses. And then this is back when we used to have a nice garden, which we don't have now, and used to, you know, do whatever needed doing in the greenhouses, because they were greenhouses being used for their proper purpose, i.e. growing plants. But then I used to, for a couple of years, probably 2 or 3 years, I used to put a load of plants outside, out the front of the house, for people to buy, with just a note saying, take what you want, pay what you want. And some people would put a nice amount in, and I think some people probably just thought, ooh, free plants. But yeah, that's, and if I misled you then I apologise for that. But no, I didn't, not had a garden centre. Right, what's the next one? Oh my word. Let's have a look, let's have a look. What are we on? 27 minutes. Right. What number was that? Oh, here we go, start at the bottom. Right. Jennifer M. Oh, I'm getting mixed up now. Jennifer M says, where's that page gone? Right, Jennifer M says, how do I stay positive and fun-spirited, and will I be doing any ASMR videos in the future? Oh, positive and fun-spirited. Oh, I don't feel very much like that at the moment. I don't know. I think we all have the choice which way, you know, which way we want to think, and I do try and, you know, encourage people to be positive, but sometimes I need to, like I've said before, practice what I preach more, and like this past few days, give myself a good shake and say, come on, get on with it, crack on, we're all in this together. And will I be doing any ASMR? Yes, I have done some more since I put this original video up, so yes, I will be doing that. Right, Pat Miller, what was one of the happiest times in your life other than getting married and having children? 60th birthday last year, absolutely fantastic. My family all surprised me, and never ever thought Mr. Doodle would be able to surprise me, because in his words, I'm far too nosy. But they did. They pulled it off, and lots of you lovely ladies contributed to my, I don't know what that one is, contributed to my happy birthday. And I'm still just on cloud 9 about that. And then after that would be my 50th birthday, because I'd never had parties and that before. The plain one, parties and that before, but I had a party for my 50th birthday. Oh my god, I was a lot bigger than I am now, and I dressed up in a bright pink tutu. Really? I looked like a blancmange. And we had a bouncy castle in the garden. Oh, it was great. It was really good. But my 60th birthday definitely was the bestest. Right. Oh, damn it. I've forgotten to bring something up again. Kelly Donovan. She asks, what is my favourite American food or snack? Well, without a doubt, McDonald's sausage patties. I absolutely love McDonald's sausage patties. Oh, they are just so nice. I don't have the bread because I'm still trying to do keto, although I've been failing miserably a little bit just lately, but I'm back on track this week. It's too much information, but I had too many carbs and I was severely constipated. End of story. I'll leave it at that. And I said to Mr. Doodle, no, I'm not eating carbs. I don't like this. It was awful. So I like pork scratchings, we call them here, Kelly, but I think you call them pork rinds. I like those. And well, this isn't American, but I like coconut chips. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. There we go, look. Pork scratchings, and they're just what I think you call them pork rinds. These are my favourite ones. Mr. Porky. Crispy strips, they are lovely. Because some of them, they're that hard and I'm frightened they'll break my teeth. And then I like these as well because they're quite keto friendly. Just coconut chips. But they're all empty. Right. But yeah, McDonald's sausage patties, love them. I even sometimes used to take a little pat of butter with me as well. Right, Gail Tuthill. I don't never know, Gail, whether you pronounce your name Tuthill or Tuthill. So, I'm sorry about that. Right. Gail says she misses the walks videos. But I will be doing some more again soon, hopefully. And some of my favourite crafters to watch. Oh, there's just so many. Everybody, if I leave a message on your videos, or even sometimes because I probably don't, there's just so many that, you know, I don't have. Oh, all right. People that I seem to be watching a lot of at the moment. Mags Lockley, Jean Bainey, Marsha from ZC Creations, Woolly Steph. I mean, they're just a few. And I think I've watched, because I tend to, like Jean Bainey for instance, I go right back to the beginning of her videos and I'm pretty sure I have watched and commented on all of her videos now. But I just love watching people do stuff and glue and paste and chat, and I'm never very keen of music videos. I don't mind voiceovers are good, but I'm not usually keen. Marsha does music on her video, but her music is lovely. But if ever there's videos on music on some of the videos that I watch, and they do that all the time, it tends to put me off of watching them. I know some people never do talkie videos, so it's always music, but I don't know, I can turn that off, but then you just, I don't know. That's just so, but you know, there's just so many, you could go on forever saying everybody's names. Right, now Mary, I don't know how you pronounce this, Tiu, is it? Tiu? Toe? I don't know, but Mary. She said she loves the Queen, and what's it like having one? Do I like her? Well, yes, I like the Queen. I used to love the Queen Mother, bless her. I like all of the royals, really, even when they, you know, get a lot of grief for different bits and bobs. And she says, oh, would you sooner, just as soon sack her? No, you can't sack the Queen. Yeah, so that's that. Right, Moss Cottage, Helen, she says, have you ever worked outside of the home, and what did you do? Well, yeah, I've already said that. I used to have done cleaning work. I packed up about 6 or 7 years ago, I think. It's just like, no, I don't want to do that anymore, thank you. I used to love it. I did used to, you know, enjoy my work, and I was always lucky enough to work for some really, really lovely people. You know, they were just so nice. There was only one couple that I actually left that I didn't get on with, or not didn't get on with, didn't enjoy being there, and I thought, well, I don't have to do it, so I stopped. But the rest that I worked for, lots of them moved away and such like. Right, so that's that one. Right, what was that one? Oh, right, Liz Wiseman. She says, I'd like to know what you and Mr. Doodle usually eat. Do you cook for him, and what are some of the favourites? Well, Mr. Doodle, he likes lasagna. He always says that mine is the best lasagna that he's ever had. He really loves my lasagna. I don't know why, but and we just eat normal foods, really, nothing fancy. We like good old-fashioned plain and boring foods. Although I do wish I could get Mr. Doodle into liking salmon, because I just love salmon and he doesn't like it. But like last night we just had sausages. Well, I had just had sausage and veg, and Mr. Doodle had some potatoes with his, or pasta bake. He likes pasta. You know, meat and vegetables, all sorts of things, really. Tonight he's just going to have a jacket potato. I don't know whether you call them jacket potatoes. Baked, do you call it baked potatoes, where you do it in the skin? And he wants beans and cheese on that. So he's pretty easy to cook for. We usually, well, we speak several times during the day. Yay for mobile phones. And discuss what he might want for his dinner at night time. Right, where are we? It's number 23. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is such a long video. Right, G's Tidbit, she says, is there any more for that one? No. How do I come up with my fantastic ideas? Well, thank you for that, but it's all a knock-on effect of seeing other people's, because I've often said that there's not many things that I think of for myself. But no, I just like to play doing things. I love this. Really, really love this. That's so pretty. Wow. Oh, and that one. That's pretty. So yes, so it's just YouTube inspiration. Debbie Dunham, where do you get all the inspiration from? YouTube inspiration. What haven't you done yet? What haven't you done yet but look forward to doing? Well, one thing I haven't done is paint pouring. acrylic paint pours, and I know it's something I would love to do, but for one thing I don't have room. Well, I could do it here, I suppose, but I don't. I mean, that my desk is, what is it, 3 foot wide by what, 2 foot deep, so I don't have a lot of room to do it, and I wouldn't have anywhere to keep them. I have no room to keep them. It's not as though I can then hang it up to dry on my line, is it? Because all the paint would be on the floor. But I'd have a pretty carpet. So that's one thing I haven't done. And not only that, the supplies are quite expensive, but it just looks fun. Looks a lot of fun. What else? What haven't I done that I look forward to doing? I don't know. I can't think of anything else at the moment. Right, Max Nash said she'd like to know anything about me and where we live. Well, I already told you about Mr. Doodle, our anniversary, 1 daughter, 2 grandkids, and we live in a smallish village, which it hasn't grown outwardly in all the, well, Mr. Doodle's lived here all his life, and it hasn't grown outwardly at all. There's been a couple of little estates, one that is just across there that used to be an allotment, and there's some houses on there, and then there's one further up the village, but it's a nice little village. It's not as friendly as it used to be, because you know, when I first came here, everybody would speak to everybody, and you literally knew everybody. When I used to do the posting, deliver the mail, I used to have to go down to the post office and sort it all out myself and that, and it was just so easy, because you'd like, oh yeah, they live there, blah 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 blah. I wouldn't have a clue now, not a clue. And you know that lots of the newcomers, they just, if you're in the garden and they walk past, they just, well, look the other way, or if you speak to them, they look at you as much as to say, well, why are you speaking to me? So yeah, but other than that, it's a nice quiet little village. I don't know what the population is, about 1,000 people, I think, something like that. Right, where have I got to? That's Mags. Right, Kylie Koo. Kylie says, you recently, bearing in mind this is like a couple of months ago, at least 6 weeks ago, when I put the original video up, you recently did an ASMR video. Do you enjoy watching ASMR? Well, I can't remember how I said I got into it, but no, I don't have a dislike for it, but it isn't something that I think, oh, I'll go on to YouTube and watch ASMR videos. I think it must have just been a video up in the sidebar or something sometime, and I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked at it, and then when I think my first one was when I'd done some of the faux homemade paper, the textured paper, and I was just stroking it and thought, oh, that's a nice noise, because it was all textured and that's how I started to do the videos myself, although I do get quite a few thumbs down, but that doesn't bother me. You either like it or you don't. I know a lot of people don't understand it. I'm not going to go into it now. So yes, I have done some more since then, and yes, I will do as and when I feel like it. Then she says, you did a video maybe a few months ago, maybe longer. I think the one you're referring to was probably last year, or it could even have been longer than that. Time flies. Showing your drawings and paintings. Are you still drawing and painting, and will you show us more? Well, since you asked that, Kylie, I've started back. I hadn't done any since, oh no, it was last September time. Yeah, it was last year. Last September time when I showed you them. I'm sure it was September, October time. But since you asked the question, I have done some more and I have shown them. So yes, I will show them as and when. And do you create every day or most days? Yes, I like to try to do something, even if it's just flicking a bit of paint on something. But I haven't done for a few days. My calendar's still on the 21st of March and it's the 30th today. Right, now the next question is from Dark Allegiance 666 and they say, my question for you, why do you refer to all your viewers as lovely ladies? Do you know for sure that there are no lovely men watching you? No, I didn't. And I'm assuming, Dark Allegiance 666, that you are a gentleman and you're a lovely gentleman. So hello and thank you for watching. When you sent that message, I thought, oh well, I'll go and have a look, because I wasn't aware. I know that I used to have one male subscriber, Dennis Seipel. Hello Dennis, if you're still about. I don't know whether you come on anymore. So I knew that I did have one male subscriber, but to my knowledge I have never been aware of, nobody's ever said, oh by the way, I'm a gentleman subscriber or anything. So I went on to my you call it analytics, and it said that 99.6 were female subscribers and the other 0.4 were male subscribers. But since then I have had Antonio from Antonio Makes that has subscribed to me, so I possibly have 3, and yeah, you're all lovely. So I hope that answers your question. But usually when I say lovely ladies, it's referring to, I mean, I think for a long time I say hello everyone, but when I refer to lovely ladies, it's often because it's lovely ladies that sent all the hands of friendship to me and different bits and bobs, and I tend to say it then. I don't know. I hope that answers your question anyway. Right, Marcia from ZC Creations. Oh God, 47 minutes. I do apologise. I'm sure you'll skip through what you want to. Marcia from ZC Creations. You do so many different types of art and crafts. Is there one or two that you absolutely love? Well, I do love paper folding, any sort of paper folding. A long time ago, a few years, I don't think I've done any for a couple of years at least, I did, let me have a look, Cusadema flowers. These are all tatty now. I've got a single one somewhere, but there's 12 on this, and I have got a video out somewhere, although I'm sure it's an appalling video. I've been looking at some of my older videos recently and deleting some of them. Oh, here we go. Because the quality is appalling. This is a single one, so you need, well, that one's got 5 single pieces, squares of paper, and then you stick them all together. But that one's been made several years, but it's all tatty. And the others that I've done, well, I have got another one hung up there, but the others that I've done have all gone out to other homes. Let's have a look. That was the other one that I did, a yellow one. You can see it's been dropped and bashed about. Sorry. But yeah, so I like paper folding. I like making flowers, whether it be paper flowers or fabric flowers. Often when I sit out in the garden in the summer, I'll take some stuff up to do, but I just generally love everything, and any of you that watches my videos regular knows that when I get into something I don't just make one or two, I make 10 million, and I haven't flipped through many bits of paper, have I? Yeah, so I just like doing anything. And this is the last question, I think. Right, Francis Jacob. How do you stay so organised? You must work at it constantly. I've got better over the years because Mr. Doodle very kindly bought me lots of drawers, and you know, I have such a small room, of which I'm very, very grateful for. But yes, I do tend to do a lot of reorganising and you know, just trying to make things better for myself really. But having all these little drawers, it's fantastic. And I don't like to have labels on my drawers because, well, it would bug me having an ugly label on the drawer. And not only that, I like to just think, oh, I've forgotten about that, so I still go in it. But it's great because before I used to have just piles and piles of boxes on the floor, and I'd have to heave all of those off. And yes, so I hope I haven't missed any. I'm sorry I didn't get through all those, but right, I'm going to love you and leave you now. And if I've missed anything, I'm sorry, but I don't think I have, because say I've got them all written down. Sorry it's been a long one, and I hope you flipped through when you felt the need to. So take care, and thank you again everyone for all your questions. It's been fun. Well, it's been fun for me. So thank you, take care, love you all loads, and stay safe. Bye.